if you don't want to smell like someone's ex-boyfriend, you know, like the colognes that she's talking about, use these instead.
Don't want to smell like somebody's ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, you don't want to bring that memory back in.
I always found that so interesting how simply triggering a memory can affect how you feel about a certain person or a certain thing at that point in time, which is why I believe types are such a thing.
I'm not saying girls and guys can't be friends. I definitely am very blessed enough to have very, very, very good girl homies. But I also understand it took a lot of growth for me to be able to have the kinds of friendships that I do now.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Saint Yim, better known as what's your full name? Your actual full real name?
Oh, I've never said that on social media once.
Yeah, are we gonna tell everybody?
Dude, I don't know how to keep that one under the wraps for now.
So I can't tell people your first name.
Yeah, I'd rather just go by Saint for now.
Okay.
If I hit a milli, we'll put it out there.
All
Once
right,
we hit
bet.
a milli. Yeah,
So Saint is better known as the Cologne guy.
Hello.
The Cologne guy.
The Cologne
on
guy.
TikTok.
God, here we go.
Wow. The famous Cologne guy. Dude, it's an honor to be in your presence.
I'm humbled to be here, man.
An honor to smell your presence today, sir.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Bro, but it's kind of cool how you got your actual name. You should tell the people how you got your name.
Oh, yeah.
Your actual name.
So when I first started social media, I was truthfully like very, very, I think as a lot of us are, like, it's a big step to put yourself out there on social media in that aspect. I think it's like a big, like almost leap of faith.
I think it's huge.
Yeah. So
I mean, but then again, it's nice because you hear from a lot of people that a lot of people do kind of respect it in some sort of sense because it is hard. You know, you do put a lot of yourself out there, and doing so can make you feel very make you feel very vulnerable.
Yeah, definitely. You have to face yourself in a lot of ways. So for me, I didn't want to put myself out there. I think I did, but I was afraid to. So I used my dog's name, which is Saint. And that's the name I go by on social media. And that way it allowed me to be myself without really worrying about people from my past, like finding me, if that makes sense. No one's looking for Saint, right? Everyone knows me as, I almost slipped. Everyone knows me as my normal name. So this really allowed me to have a fresh start. And in the beginning, when people would come over and I didn't tell anybody my real name yet, they would ask like, oh, what's your dog's name? I'd be like, oh, it's Saint. And they'd be like, that's a little narcissistic to have, like, name your dog after yourself. And I would just bite that bullet and be like, yeah, I thought it'd be funny because I really didn't want to put, any trace of who I was yet. I think I was still I don't think I had the level of self-acceptance in myself at the time when this started. So that was how I came upon Saint. But that is not my real name. It is my dog's name. But that's just, now I've accepted, like, that's kind of like my identity.
The reality is he looks just like his dog. People started getting them confused. Well, so I've actually known my boy Saint for like a little bit now. I actually met this guy through I'd say Devin and Larry.
Yeah, Devin and Larry.
So we went to like EDC that one time, and then we met through EDC, and that was dope because I was just like,
hotel room.
The moment I like walked in, this guy popped out of nowhere, and then can't tell you exactly what he said first off, but I just remember my perception being like, who the fuck is this uncensored motherfucker? He just started spewing out sex noises out of anywhere.
I remember your facial expression.
Who the fuck is this guy?
I think Devin said that you looked terrified when you heard that. You were just like, what the fuck? I just opened the bathroom door. You're looking up at me. I'm just like, oh, sorry. Yeah, I do that.
All I remember is Devin going, don't worry, bro. This is him. He's always like this.
Sometimes it's just fun to, like, I don't know, not have a censor on, I think like that's what we can do with each other when the cameras are off, bro, and stuff like that.
If I'm gonna be real, that's my favorite part about you, dude.
I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah.
Can't let that out all the time, though, for sure. I think
I've noticed. I mean, I don't know if it's okay if I say this, but just something that I was feeling. But I have felt like you've had a little bit more of like maybe a little bit more of like a guard, or a little bit more of like than before as of recently. And I'm not sure if that's because of all the things that you're going through in your life right now, but
I think it's weird. And Larry and I had this conversation. I was driving him to the airport, and I think in a lot of ways, Larry and I balance each other out in certain aspects of our personality. I think I'm very naturally, I would say I'm very open and approachable. And like Larry, you know, it's not that Larry's not approachable, but he definitely talks less than I do, right? And I remember I was talking to each other about it, and I was like, basically, I think something oddly enough that I wanted to work on this year, I don't know if it's necessarily a good thing to work on, was I actually wanted to close up a little bit. Just because I realized that I don't mind being super open and vulnerable with people, but I have noticed that there are times when I'm still very much processing or like digging into my emotions, but because I have such a high level or my baseline emotion is pretty high, like I'm always like in a good mood or like high energy, people will immediately catch on if something's going on in my head and it's like, yo, what's going on or what's wrong? And it's not that I don't want to talk about it. It's just that I'm still very much processing, and it kind of forces me to like articulate my thoughts that I haven't even really gotten to think yet. So I told myself that moving forward, and I don't know if this is going to be how I stay, but moving forward, I wanted to kind of close up a little bit and lower what my baseline emotion is. So that way, if something's up, people won't automatically catch on. Because I think there is a certain aspect it's not always good to wear your heart on your sleeve. I think there are benefits to it, and you definitely need people like that in your life. But for me personally, I think recently with everything going on, I wanted to not have my heart on my sleeve as much. Because sometimes talking about stuff just isn't really, it's good to talk about things, but it doesn't always help the actual situation unless you actually move on or like deal with it. So I do definitely feel you, because I think I have been feeling myself like keep my guard up, and I need to work on separate or compartmentalizing when I have my guard up. But I think it's hard to do when you're switching on and off with that. You know, it's not like when things are happening, it's hard to only have your guard down in certain situations and then have your guard up. For me personally, I think it's like when I'm going through it, I don't know. Guard's like up even when I know that it shouldn't be, but it's just like guard being up at least makes me feel a little less, or I don't have to deal with whatever it is that's going on a little less, because I'm just trying to be present, but I know it clashes. So
I mean, I do agree with that in the fact that you kind of just have to be choosy for when exactly you're going to be transparent about certain things, or when are you going to like let your door down, I guess, in a way. Because the unfortunate truth is you don't know what anyone's intentions are all the time. And I guess it's easier. It's easier when you have a relationship that's very close with somebody, but when it's not, obviously you want to make sure that there's some things about your personal life that maybe are just more important for you to keep to yourself. You know, for example, more plates, more dates. He doesn't even share his last name. Nobody knows his last name. Nobody knows his last name. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, crazy. And he just keeps it that way for privacy reasons. You know, I can't remember what else. This is a little different. I think Andrew Huberman was talking about some things about personal in his life, but like, for example, one thing that isn't quite as related, but like, you know, he has his tattoos on his sleeves, right? But he hides them at all times whenever he's doing anything that's related to his profession. And to be honest, he has good reason. Even though I love tattoos and I think it's a great form of like expression, the truth of the matter is what he says is correct about his position is that his position and his intent is to teach students, like neurobiology, you know, science,
definitely.
Stanford. His intent is to teach. And if this isn't something that will contribute to his teaching and to his intent in any possible way, then there's no point in him showing it. Right. So he chooses not to, you know.
Very professional way to go about it too.
It is a very professional way.
Can't do anything but respect that.
Right. Which always gets me in my head about like, God damn, dude, but I've just wanted certain tattoos my entire life, namely on my fucking throat. Just like a big ass fucking upside down cross on my forehead.
Oh no. Oh, Jesus.
Just kidding. But yeah, dude, I mean, I do want to say though, you having been open like that when I met you was a huge thing for me to see. Like that meant a lot to me when I saw that. And to be honest, that actually allowed me to feel and get closer to you so much quicker. And so I want to tell you, even though you do feel like you need to be guarded now, which is absolutely totally fine, I really fucking appreciate that about you, bro. Like that was like one of the things that I appreciated the most about you over anybody, is how even when I just met you, like you were there, available to connect, available to share your experiences, and thus instantly I already felt like I wasn't alone.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And you were someone new, you know, in my life. So
I do remember us getting fairly close fairly quickly because of the conversations we had. I think that's where the struggle is for me right now, is that, and this kind of goes for anybody else out there, there is so much good that does come from someone being open and vulnerable unexpectedly, without any type of attachment to outcome. Like they don't want anything. They're just being open and vulnerable, and that in turn helps other people open up and stuff like that. And so like that's a little bit of the struggle right now for me, is I understand there's a lot of good that comes from it. Mm-hmm. I just want to make sure that I also, I think, protect myself in certain ways from letting too much out, right? I think being vulnerable is okay, but now I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm questioning, am I letting too much out there for the world right now? So it's like I got to go back and kind of, I think that's where that putting up the walls kind of comes in, is like put in the walls so that I'm inside my house, work on it a little bit again before letting them back down, and then be like, okay, all right, I'm good. You know, we can let people back in. So it's definitely a weird place, and yeah, a lot of, I think self-growth and self-reflection is definitely a never-ending journey, and you never know where it's going to go. I think it's sometimes you get worse before you get better. Sometimes you get way better and then take a small step back. But even that small step back is can be shocking to ourselves sometimes. Yeah.
But just like any place in life, you know, you're always going to have your ups and downs. So in order to rise, you have to fall at some point. Yeah. You know,
it's definitely natural. How it is.
Yeah. I'm going to be awaiting the return, though, of Uncensored Saint.
Oh, no.
Just to let you know.
Me too. Yeah, he's coming back soon. He has been coming back recently, little by little. But yeah, I definitely feel you on that one.
Yeah. All right. Tell us a little bit about how did you get into a cologne? How did this whole thing start? Tell us about the cologne.
So, cologne, content-wise, I've always kind of been into cologne. Even when I was overseas and stuff, I had a lot of colognes.
Okay, so tell us first, you were overseas, you started in the military, right?
Right. So I was in the military, and I was never really into the colognes in the beginning of my career. I think growing up I was kind of, but not in the way that I am now. And then when I got to Sudan, that's when I had like 3-4 colognes, and like some of the boys would actually no, I had 5 when I was in Mexico, and then took those with me to Sudan. Some of the boys on the team would like come into my room and like ask if I could use them. But yeah, sure.
It's already more than most people have.
I know, yeah. That's what I didn't realize. And then I got to Russia, same thing. And I was always rotating through. And then once I got out of the military, it was just, you know, whatever. I was just living like a pretty normal, going back to school life. And then once content creating started, it wasn't until, I don't even know, like 6-7 months into my content. And don't quote me on that. But I stitched this girl's video, Saharu, and she was suggesting, you know, Armani Code and I think Dior Sauvage or something like that. And I was kind of like, no, don't do that. Because the colognes that she was suggesting were extremely popular. And like, that's not to say they're bad. They're not bad colognes by any means. Mm-hmm. But it was more of just like, oh, this is an opportunity for me to just talk about something randomly. So I stitched it saying like, if you don't want to smell like someone's ex-boyfriend, you know, like the colognes that she's talking about, use these instead. And so I just talked about a few that I already had that aren't like the ones that everyone else has, or just
don't want to smell like somebody's ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, you don't want to bring that memory back in. Because this is like, there's something about our olfactory, or our basically like our sense of smell. That's one of the strongest connections to memories we have. If you smell something, that's Yeah. I didn't know that until I was watching some his name's Rudy Reyes, but he's a former recon Marine. He was talking about how your sense of smell is one of the strongest ties to your memories. And so like that's why like the smell of gunpowder to him like brings back a lot of memories from his past and stuff like that.
Oh shit.
Yeah. But that's not like the point of why I'm saying don't smell like someone's ex-boyfriend.
So rub some fucking gunpowder in my armpits. Let's fucking go, baby.
So that's why that's why I was just saying like, don't smell like someone's ex-boyfriend. Here's some other suggestions for you. Just to be different,
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how that video went viral. And then moving forward, I stitched things here and there talking about cologne. That wasn't my normal content yet, but they always tended to do well. And so I ended up sticking with it. And then that's how TikTok, I guess, kind of put me into the niche of men's fragrance. And that's just been what my content has kind of revolved around for the past year. Branching out right now into men's lifestyle, because I do have a bigger end game in mind.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's a way better medium to connect with my audience and I think kids in general than fragrance.
Absolutely,
because that's not the value I want. It's not that I don't mind it, but that's not the value I want to bring.
You can bring so much more.
Yeah,
easy,
like
bro.
It's like
you've already made such a good impact just from colognes and scents and helping people with that. So
yeah, I appreciate that, man.
And that's just a small little part of the step. You've only started recently, technically, right?
Yeah. It's only been like a couple of years, which in the grand scheme of things, it's not that long.
Not that long.
I talk to a lot of yourself and other content creators, and I mean, because I know you on a more personal level, the same way that you're so much more than your physicality and your fitness. Like there's so much more to Nyle that I know about that maybe the rest of the world doesn't know about. So there is, I do resonate with that in the fact that we're so much more than our content, and there's so much more that even though our audience may not come to us to see it, there's other people we do want to reach that are outside of whatever niche that our social media puts us in. So that's the point of why I want to branch out of just men's fragrance, because it's like a stepping stone. Like once I get into men's lifestyle and all that, eventually it's like, okay, I've got this reach of young, impressionable kids. Now we can actually make an impact more than just here's what to wear, or here's how to look good, or here's how to smell good. There's way more that matters, especially, as a guy becoming a man or so on and so forth. There's so much more to being an adult and growing up and self-growth than our outward appearance and whatnot. So that's really how I want to get to my audience, but I've got a long ways to go till I think I'm ready to pull that trigger and do that.
I think your niche of cologne though paints more than just promoting one's outward appearance or how to make that be improved. I think really what you're promoting is essentially how does one take care of themselves in the modern world.
Yeah,
and I think that's something that you've been painting in all of your content, really.
Yeah.
If somebody cares about themselves, then I'm sure they're going to be a little bit conscious of how do I smell? Is it a turn off to people? This is going to affect my social life, which could also affect my business life.
Yeah. How am I carrying myself?
Right. Even though it may not seem like it, just looking at it right off the bat, I mean, these things are all absolutely connected.
Yeah. Definitely. Just people, I understand that a lot of the times it's you shouldn't care about what other people think. But at the end of the day, it is still a very big factor in how you will progress through life is understanding how people might think about you, or if you do certain things, or if you come off a certain way. So even though you shouldn't revolve your life around that, again, it is something you should put thought into for sure.
Mm-hmm. Random question from someone online.
Oh, yeah.
Do you spray your booty hole?
No, I never have sprayed my booty hole. I know I have seen some people spray their gooch. Not directly, but I've definitely seen dudes just spray it on
may
their
or
pants.
May not have been one of those people.
Myself included. Not on camera. But it's not for serious purposes. I think we all just do it kind of just for fun.
No, you just, gotta add a little bit on top of the ball sack pheromones,
Yeah, you never know. You never know what's going to be down there.
Yeah. Maybe I'll be interested in what the scent is. Is that Dior Sauvage?
Yeah, is it? Gucci? Oh shit.
So, all right, colognes. Okay.
Yes.
So, can you tell me a little bit of like the history of colognes, or do you know any much about like I guess just anything I guess in general about like colognes or how they started or like your idea, your perspective on them?
For me, I think colognes are just another way to express yourself or like be a little different. If you don't, and you know, some people just care about smelling good, but you can have colognes that match your personality in a way. As far as history goes, not really that knowledgeable on the history of colognes. My take on colognes is more of, I think I know more than I guess the average consumer of fragrance, but I'm not an expert in the matter of, oh, these different notes smell like this, or like this is what this smells like. Because for me, you know, I just want to be relatable to the masses. I don't really mind if I'm relatable to the experts in this field because, again, you know, most people aren't going into this fragrance.
Right.
Like
it's fun to listen to more plays, more dates, but like there's a good like 70% of this information out there that is never going to apply to anybody out there.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Like literally the only reason why it's so entertaining to listen to that 70% is like you're like, wow, so he really did his research, so he's like credible, you know what I mean? And maybe I'm interested, but like the tools that everyone's using is literally that 30%.
Yeah,
talking about,
and like that's
that 30% that Andrew Huberman will talk about.
Right.
Like, you're never gonna actually. I don't know. You're never actually gonna like go grab your hypothalamus and make sure that it's secreting.
Yeah, like there's nothing good, or most people aren't gonna understand what I mean, or because you can't smell through a phone. You know, like that'd be cool. That'd be sick. That would definitely help a lot.
Sick, dude. I think that's gonna happen
that would be
soon,
an insane,
honestly.
You know, jump in progress in technology. But because we can't do that right now, you know, what good is me saying this cologne has notes of bergamot, cardamom, vanilla? You know, you might know what vanilla smells like, but if I say cardamom, you know, bergamot, and like iris, like most people do not know what any of those are or what any of those smell like. So me telling you that, it might make me sound smart, but that does you no good in picking a fragrance. But if I tell you this one smells sweet, it's loud, it projects a lot, it's good for, you know, a party.
Right.
That's easier to understand and relate to and simplifies it, as opposed to me trying to just sound pretentious. Not that other people are, that's why people do it, but
especially if it can like trigger memories for some people.
Right. Yeah. So it's just better to just be like, okay, this is good for this occasion, wear this for that occasion. And then these are the most common ones you might want to avoid, right? Like that's way simpler for the audience than me going into super specific details about a fragrance that no one's gonna even understand. Yeah.
Dude, I always found that so interesting how simply triggering a memory can affect how you feel about a certain person or a certain thing at that point in time.
Yeah.
Like simply the triggering of a memory, which is why I believe like types are such a thing. You know what I mean? It's like, I personally believe all those types that anyone has had is simply because these types are triggers of memories that are associated with when that person was feeling high in some sort of sense. I don't know if it would have been maybe, I don't know, like a huge spike in dopamine or serotonin or whatever feelings, oxytocin, whatever they were feeling when they were encountering that quote unquote like type. But like, for example, for me, bro, I don't know why, but I've got a fucking thing for emo chicks. Like, I have a fucking thing for emo. I don't fucking know why, bro. Like, I'll see some chick with like black teased hair and like a little bit too much eyeliner or something that just looks like she listens to metal and rock, and I'm
thinking of someone right now. I think you know who I'm thinking about right now.
Give me your fucking tongue piercings.
There's someone I'm thinking about right now. I think you know who it is. When you're talking about this right now and how you're like, dude, she looks really good.
Wait, someone in particular? I don't know. There's a lot.
We met them at an EDC event.
Oh,
she definitely matches what you're talking about, right? I wouldn't say
she did, but to be honest, now like at this point in time, I realize that I'm not interested for some certain reasons, but like it is kind of nice though to see like certain types though, like those certain types, 100%. That shit spoke to me. Like that shit resonated with me.
I mean, I'm wondering, is there an occasion where you might have gotten Is there any, I think trauma is a little too strong of a word here, but is there any like time you were rejected or something like that by an emo girl that like from your past?
Rejected by?
Yeah.
So that's the weird thing is like, I think that the reason that I feel that way about emo girls is probably because, you know how, I've told this story several times, but when I was a little kid, my parents never let me onto the computer. They never let me they never wanted to expose me to anything. Like my mom told me that like MySpace was like the devil and that I can't be on the internet. I could only be on the computer in order for me to do homework and studies and shit that. I needed to just play piano at all times. I played 6 instruments. Actually, I played 7 instruments, and a lot of these were because of my family. I was in karate, tennis, soccer, football, 4-H, became an Eagle Scout. Just all these different things. My parents put me in I feel like I was like in 20, 30 extracurricular activities. And they also wanted me to be in GT and do a lot of math and stuff, wanted me to be an engineer or a doctor at the same time. It's like, and I was their only kid. So imagine like my entire life just growing up was like, how can my parents make me the absolute perfect little being to take over the family name, right? And so because of that, I was such a rebel. I was such a rebel, bro. Like fucking out of my mind a rebel. Like I would get so upset. There's a lot of things that I don't really want to talk about. I want to be transparent about, but I am ashamed of it. Especially, you know, going through my preteens, I'd have like a lot of anger issues and stuff. So I'd be like whenever I was really mad, I'd like be smashing my hand into things, and obviously I would damage the house. And I'm really ashamed of that. But I was very rebellious the entire time, and then like I went to the computer room and told them to let me unlock the computer so I could do some homework. Taped my phone to the corner of the room so that I could videotape myself videotape them putting in the password so I could figure out what the password was to the computer so I could hack into the computer at the middle of the night when my mom was asleep, and then play RuneScape and watch anime and then look up whatever else I wanted to on the computer. And that was where I basically like felt like I learned the world. That's where I saw like all these emo chicks everywhere on the internet, because at the time, you know, what, the early 2000s, that's what was popular, I guess. So that was a bunch of emo chicks and shit, right?
I definitely had an emo phase as well.
Yeah, and so like, you know, Z's was there too. What else was on the internet? It was a bunch of MySpace. There was also a lot of what is it called? Starts with a T or something. Tumblr. Tumblr, MySpace, right? Shit ton of that stuff. So I think because of that, I was really into emo chicks. I think that was the thing that got me into emo chicks. I really like rock music and shit like that, was the internet. And then the girl who took my virginity was emo, had a piercing, red hair. I feel really fucking bad for this, and it fucking makes me really sad, but she like cheated on her boyfriend to take my virginity and stuff. She was crazy. And everyone in the school was like, dude, Nyle, like, why the fuck are you, like, they were being all judgy, like high school kids. Like, why are you, like, being with that kid? Because I was, like, this kid in polos and, like, prep clothing and stuff that my parents would dress me into to make me look like I was wealthy or something, or at least well off. Yeah. So, essentially, because of that, I think now, even to this day now, I have a type. I'm like, if this girl is grungy and she likes this hardcore music that I do, like, dubstep, like, goth shit, fucking rock and alternative, you know, metal. I'm down to see where it goes. Yeah,
parents that like super strict parents definitely make the most rebellious kids like the best liars.
They do.
That like
Catholic school kids. Wait, you were too? Yeah. Oh shit!
What the hell?
Larry Gal was a Catholic school kid.
Oh my god.
K through 8th grade. Okay, yeah. I think I remember you saying that at one point.
Oh, it's crazy because like I also went to Catholic school from K through 8. I'm not gonna lie, that was a pretty. I mean, you know how kids can be, man. Kids can be absolutely fucking ruthless, right? Like we still haven't understood how to control our emotions fully yet. And dude, I think that I'm pretty sure I cried almost like every day growing up when I was going to a Catholic school. I was only Korean in the entire school too.
Holy shit!
Yeah, dude, it was pretty wild, and like I'll just come home miserable, and like I think that along with like having I wouldn't say they put me through as much as you. Like they were putting me through like a lot of sports, which I'm grateful for. A lot of instruments. I was also an Eagle Scout, but yeah, man, like both my sisters are doctors, and I grew up like rebellious as shit. You know, like I was like, you know what, like I think there was a point in time where I didn't really like being Asian. That's why I grew up super whitewashed, because I think that party probably stemmed from the fact that like I was also not liked at school a lot, because I assumed it was because I was Asian. Like I was the only different one.
I swear to God, you and I talked about this exact same thing. That's where we connected.
Yeah.
We both when we were a kid fucking regretted that we were Asian. We were sad we were Asian because like people were racist back then where we were, man.
And they're not even like, they don't even know that they're racist. It's just like, oh, this kid's different.
Yeah, it's just like the Asian men did not have it back then. People don't really understand that. A lot of people don't understand that. Oh, Asian men are like in now K-pop and like anime and shit.
They look very feminine.
This is literally the best. This is literally the best time of my life because like things are changing.
Asians are on the rise right now. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's crazy.
But back
that
then,
was not how it was
dude,
back then, man.
They were so like, I was put down so hard just for being an Asian male.
You know, that's why,
especially being overweight.
Yeah, I was also like, even I was like a little athletic, but I was definitely chunky like throughout middle school and stuff like that. And that obviously did not help. That was why I'm pretty like, if I were to dive into it, that was definitely where I had a type, and it was, you know, like classic Santa Monica sorority girl or something like looking girl. You know what I mean? Like that was my type growing up, because I think it stemmed from the fact that like, I guess the part of our brain that deals with the rejection always deals with addiction. So long story short, I'm not going to dive super hard into this, but essentially our brains will naturally crave the acceptance of the people that have rejected us. And I'm pretty sure that's where my type came from a long time, was the fact that, you know, I was never accepted by these white kids growing up. And so that's like, you know what? I'm gonna be that Asian guy. I'm gonna date a white girl, you know. I mean, that's obviously not the case now. I'm definitely not like that. But growing up, that was definitely the case where I was not super accepting of my culture. And I wanted to be different from the rest of my culture so badly. But it's crazy because now I'm surrounded by Asians and I absolutely love it. You know, like I'm very glad that we all got each other. And that's something we all are able to socialize. We're all accepting of everybody, but there's definitely a sense of feeling like it's almost like home, or it's familiar, similar struggles, like that kind of thing with a lot of Asians, especially in the content creating space. It's crazy how much our childhood blueprints into who we become. Especially if you don't deal with it, like you kind of see the dark side of that, you know.
You're saying that's why you feel like very comfortable in this space where you're like surrounding yourself with a lot more Asians.
Yeah,
like this Asian group, right?
Yeah. Like it definitely wasn't like that.
Same.
It wasn't until a couple of years ago. Before then, I was only around. I was like the token Asian guy.
Right.
You know, and I loved it. I was like, oh, I don't want there to be other Asians. Like, not in like a super racist way, but it's more just like I liked being different, the different Asian guy. Mm-hmm. You know, but now I'm like, I don't really care who's in the group. You know, it's nice being around Asians. It's nice being around non-Asians. It's just way more. I love the diversity now. Now that like I've accepted and like I'm proud of being Asian. There's a lot of good that comes from self-acceptance just in general. Mm. It definitely took a long time for me to realize that, but yeah, there's a lot of good that comes from self-acceptance because that allows you to finally start working on stuff. Yeah. As opposed to, you know, fighting that it's there at all. We actually paid them for that cameo.
We can keep this in, by the way, editors. Editor being probably also me. Dude, but I absolutely think that, what was it? Yeah. Like I love being part of like an Asian group now. Like I love it. Mm-hmm. And I have my white friends. I have a lot of white friends, bro. Like most of my friends are a bunch of different races. You know, I have a lot of white, Hispanic, and black friends. But I never really had like an Asian group. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So this is for the first time, and I really thank you for this because you invited me to your house that one time.
Oh, yeah.
Had me like meet a bunch of people, and then I ran into Diana, my friend from college.
Yeah.
And suddenly I had a flashback. I was like, holy shit, dude. I loved Diana. She was always so nice, always so cool. We always like resonated very well. But I also always remember she was always part of like an Asian sorority, and she would always do things with the Asian fraternity there at the college there. So they were always like with their own Asian group. Whereas me, I was in a white fraternity that had called Country Thursdays, and so all my friends were not Asian, and so I would always see her hang out with her Asian friends, and then I was over here just like you know, I don't know, being the same person that I was when I was growing up in Texas and Arkansas and just surrounded with a bunch of people that aren't from my own culture. And so when I saw that and I saw her at your party, I was like, holy shit, this is really sick.
Yeah.
Like I'm experiencing something I haven't ever experienced before. And I'm like, honestly, I would love to like keep experiencing it potentially and see where it goes.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you know, you're always invited out with my friends, dude. Like, it's nice seeing my like friend groups collide. You know, that way I don't have to really work because you know how it is sometimes. And like when it's like, oh,
I think you did your part already.
Yeah.
I think you already displayed your kindness through you introducing, you know, your friends together in the first place.
Yeah.
And I think what happened now is like it just happened that your friends that you resonate with and your other friends that you resonate with tend to resonate with each other, and so that's really nice to see too. You know,
it's nice like not having to ask to invite you guys. Sometimes, you know, it's like they're not. You guys are now like invited as well. It's like,
well, I'm sure if like they didn't resonate with like your other group of friends, then that wouldn't have happened. You know, they wouldn't be inviting them out to the same things and stuff like that.
Right.
So, yeah. So I think I personally just believe that like people of the same type and people who want to pursue the same things and are into the same things, maybe even behind the same cultures, all tend to somehow come back together in some sort of sense, all seem to be connected in some sort of way. That's why you always tend to run to the same people over and over again. Sometimes it feels like a small world, is because those people who do things that do those things will come back and find each other again. Like seems to attract like in some sort of sense that way. Which is why I'm like, holy shit, I ran to Diana that I haven't seen in like 5 years.
That's still so wild to me, where it really is crazy how, you know, some people you think you're never going to see them again, and then it's like
out of nowhere. Yeah,
out of nowhere.
And it wasn't even only Diana. I ran to 2-3 other Asian kids that I knew from Purdue.
That's so wild.
Yeah, like at the last party, she wasn't there, but I knew this other kid. It was just nuts. Yeah, it's nuts.
I love those moments though. Yeah. It's like, say this with love. Like some people you just can't get rid of in your life. Yeah, they just keep coming back. You're like, oh, I'm all right.
Right.
Oh, what's up, Akamaru?
What's up, boy?
Damn.
Yeah. It's so wild to me that, you know, like our paths crossed actually. Like to this day, it still kind of blows my mind that a lot of us are friends. You know, I think I've already told you, like I grew up, I've seen you prior to us meeting. You know, I didn't know who you were as a person, but I've definitely seen you. You have a very it's hard to miss. You know, you've got the snake bites and like all that stuff. But it was very humbling. Just I think getting to connect as people. I'm definitely grateful for your place in my life. You know, and just how we've all gotten to get to know each other, and I wouldn't even call it work together. We just hang, you know, and just get to enjoy each other's company. And however random it is that we all cross paths, it's nice when the paths like kind of collide and like stay together.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah,
I feel that too.
Yeah,
I'm genuinely thankful that you and I met. And I've said this 1,000 times too, and I'm gonna say it again just because. But like, it's always the boys, bro. Yeah. For me, it's always the boys. The boys come first. This is something that I had to learn through my childhood because I always had more female friends. And I mean, I didn't always have more female friends, but I feel like brotherhood was something that I didn't have a very, very strong, concrete thing until I moved to San Diego and started really, truly making my own brothers. My fraternity didn't really quite have the same authenticity in that brotherhood as I fucking got now, you know what I'm saying? Like now it's like it's less it's more of like we have the option of spending time with each other. Like I can choose my brothers. I choose to keep them in my life, you know what I mean? I now have full power to choose exactly who I want to keep in my life, and I want to value my brothers above anybody else. I do. And that's from all the experiences I've had with women as well, relationships with women as well. And that's the thing is like, dude. That's the thing in our life is that relationships, not like all relationships, including friendships, they all come and go, right? But I do find that in our time, you know, as single men, the relationships with women seem to come and go. I have maintained a lot of beautiful friendships with a lot of these girls that I've had relationships with, and I'm very glad that I still have these friendships with them. But they're not that type of relation. Well, it's okay. I'm glad it's not the same.
Oh yeah,
Good.
no, for
It's
sure.
it's better this way.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that's why my boys always come first. Is because these guys, if you are my boy, and we hold that trust with each other, and we hold that integrity with each other,
yeah,
you're never gonna leave my side. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna leave yours, bro. Like I'm always gonna be here if you ever need anything.
yeah.
So
like, there's just like I think because with the boys, like there's no. Got to be really careful how we articulate this, but I think you know, when you have a girlfriend or female homies, there's always that one underlying intention that's always like a question, and like you never really can like dig super far, because like sometimes you don't even know your own emotions. But like generally speaking, basically like, you know, the boys, like we're definitely not trying to flirt with each other or like anything like that. So like that takes out a astronomical amount of, I won't say drama, but you know, like stress that we don't have to worry about, or intentions that we don't have to worry about, right? Like I think plus with the boys, it's just, I think how we interact with each other, we're much more not afraid to hurt feelings sometimes, you know, for the best. And so that lets us communicate in a way that's different. But I also resonate with, like, you know, I definitely had a lot of female friends growing up, and I had 2 sisters. I think that was kind of why I was so in touch with my emotions, or am able to be so in touch with my emotions. But I definitely always longed for like brothers and stuff like that. And, you know, being in the military and all that stuff, like I am blessed enough to have experienced a level of loyalty that is, you know, something you just don't really experience as much in the civilian world. And so it really is, you know, it sucks because I wish it wasn't so, and there will always be exceptions to the rule, but generally speaking, it kind of does suck that, like, you know, in our lives, like, girls come and go, you know, it is what it is. But the boys tend to be forever, you know. And I think part of that, there is a, you know, we think about, I think we've talked about before, like heartbreak kind of makes a man, you know, like you definitely got to get your heart broken, you know, going through life a few times, and like that will make you.
we're back, baby.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
This is so fucking sick.
Yeah, that was sick.
I don't really remember what we were talking about last time, but I think the one thing that was on my mind though from that was, I know you're saying that it is kind of unfortunate that it seems like the relationships that we have with, like our intimate sexual relationships seem to come and go.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I have not regretted a single one. I'm really appreciative for all of them. And like, I don't know if you might be at this place at some point sooner or what, but after all the experiences that I've had, I've never felt more comfortable and more happy with where I am.
Yeah.
Being quote unquote alone, but still, you know, like I still, like if I meet someone that I have interest in, then, you know, I talk to them. Normally like some kind of friendships come out of that. And I built some beautiful relationships recently.
Yeah.
But feeling like not tied to anything right now and just focused on my work has been the most freeing feeling, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I think it's the whole feeling of like being so absorbed with my work right now, and the fact that it requires so much, it requires such a time commitment for me at the moment. I just know for a fact that the responsibility and the requirement of time for somebody else is just not going to, like, it's not going to work right now.
Yeah, we're still building your empire and everything like
Yeah.
that. So what I was saying was that I think for me, broadly speaking, it's really hard for, I think if there's no attraction between the two, I think that's fine. You guys can get as close as you want, because there's never going to be any like worry about crossing boundaries. But I think for me, I've had, and I am also grateful for every single friendship I've had with girls in the past. But it's like once you get really, really close, it's like, I used to think the whole having a girl best friend that you're not dating was like cute and whatever. But now it's like, I realize that like I will never have a girl best friend ever again, because it's like that is reserved for my girlfriend.
Really?
I can have like a girlfriend that is
But just
my
you.
best girlfriend. But my best friend will never be a girl unless it's in a relationship. And I think it's just safer that way, or it's better that way.
Just you personally?
Yeah, I think like that's where I stand. I don't think my best friend should ever be a girl unless it's my girlfriend, you know, which is different, right? But I think like that's kind of why like guys are, I think, able to get so close, because if you're being vulnerable with each other and stuff like that bond grows. But if you do that with the girl, and that, especially if there's attraction, like that can lead to a non-platonic friendship, right? Which nothing wrong with that if it's on mutual ground or mutual understanding. But it can get dangerous when like feelings get involved and like it starts getting one-sided, right?
That's why I actually disagree with these statements, because I think they're too generalized. And I think when people talk about relationships like that, many times maybe they are discounting certain occasions that aren't very common. But to be honest, a lot of people haven't seen these kind of occasions, so I can understand why these are discounted.
Yeah.
But occasions, for example, one of my best friends, she and I have already had a relationship in the past. She and I already had like a sexual relationship in the past. But now we are both like, it is so platonic. It is so incredibly platonic. I can't even express to you how platonic it is. Like she's like one of the boys. Like she's a boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm fucking wingmanning her as much as I can.
Yeah.
I want her to find the guy that she wants to look for. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I've been there and I've done that, and that's over.
Yeah, I think after.
But I love this
those
person
lines are
as
crossed.
the human being because of the
Yeah.
other stuff we've experienced together.
Yeah,
Not you know what I mean?
I can understand that because like you guys had already explored
Right.
that, right? And so now
which,
you know.
which does kind of help.
Yeah,
in-
that
in
helps.
certain
But if that
situations.
hasn't been crossed yet, I think things can get a little blurry. And then,
There could be a little curiosity, maybe.
yeah, and that can sometimes take away from the actual platonic nature, and you know, people sometimes don't even understand their own intentions, and then when you get into that, then again, it's like that curiosity or whatever that can lead to, that can sometimes take away. Not always, but it can, right? Like, I'm not saying girls and guys can't be friends. I definitely am very blessed enough to have very, very, very good girl homies and some amazing ones for sure. But I also understand it took a lot of growth for me to be able to have the kinds of friendships that I do now. I think it wasn't always that case in the past. Yeah.
Well, proud of you.
I could see that look right now. I'm like, oh, I know where that might go. Oh, shit.
Proud of you and how far you come, though, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
You had a lot of growth, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck these.
Yeah, the last couple of years were...
JK.
But no, I'm very grateful for every single girl that's ever been in my life. That this is not like a, you know, I'm in no way saying like screw women or anything like that. Like there is a lot of value that can come from like friendships. You just, you know, there's got to be a lot of awareness though, for sure. And if you go into it with a naive mindset, like you might not always turn out so great. You know, you really got to face yourself and stuff like that.
There's a few people out there who even like feel triggered by my relationship or my friendship with my ex, at least the one that was past. And I can understand why some people are triggered by it. Obviously not most, but I mean, fact of the matter is maybe they don't understand that I don't care what happened. I don't care that like maybe we're not like good off as a relationship anymore, even though we shared a lot of passion before. So what? Like I'm confident in myself enough that I know I'm going to find something potentially better.
That abundance
honestly,
mindset is huge.
I know I will. Like, I feel it. You know what I mean? I know what my opportunities are and I know what fits me best. But what makes me happy about this relationship is how much I learned from it. Like, there's not a lot of people out there that can say coming out of a relationship, like, yeah, maybe this person didn't do this for me, but I also didn't do this for them. And I also wasn't there here. And I also wasn't doing what I could have here. And now I know for my next relationship. There's not a lot of people who can say that. A lot of the relationships that are toxic that end, I seem to see, and most people seem to see, oh, this person was this shit. This person was toxic. This person was abusive. This person, it was always accusatory to the other side. Right?
Takes two to tango.
It takes two to tango. Well, it's like, well, what did you do in your relationship. And then again, there's going further into it. There's some relationships where it's like, oh, like these relationships with guys have never worked out for me. Like it's always ended the same way.
Yeah.
Well,
it's like, what did you do that maybe
if there's a commonality between every single guy that you've been with exactly. the same way that it's ended, and the commonality is you.
Yeah.
Have you tried looking at what
you're doing?
You may have been doing. Yeah. Have you even tried?
Definitely. Yeah.
You know,
and it's crazy because you can try to point that out to people. Sometimes people like really cannot face themselves.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not. I'm not saying it's not their fault, but it's like, and trying to get them to like for the best of them can be very difficult as well. You know,
right. Yeah. I can understand. I can understand how difficult it can be, especially when they're not feeling great.
Yeah.
If they feel terrible, if they feel bad about themselves, if they don't feel great, if they're not taking care of their health, then they probably don't feel like they have any energy to spare for anything.
Yeah.
Much less take accountability for what they're feeling, because it'll probably make them only feel worse.
Right.
Right. That's why Joe Dispenza really presses on meditating into your feelings about how you feel about your vision for the future. Because if you feel that your future vision is true, is what is happening now, it will be. That wiring in your brain will wire that to be.
Yeah. Through,
I don't know, whatever the neurological wirings of your feelings and whatever interacts through those memories and what you think of. But I know from my relationship, just want to point this out for other people too as well, that I see, looking back on it, while there were certain places where she probably could have met me in the middle, and she could have probably done certain things as well to help make this work. I know for a fact that I did not spend as much time as I should have and as I could have into the relationship, because I was so absorbed with my work. Mm-hmm. I had the responsibility of taking care of this woman like she was my queen, because she was, right? I loved her in this relationship, but I didn't. Why? Because I fucking cared way too much about my social media work and job, and I was too anxious that it would all fall apart. I would lose everything. I was too anxious I'd lose all the growth spurts that I've gained in the past fucking few months. And so what did I do? I'm seeing her as like someone that I don't keep for granted because of the kind of containers we had, but there is a sense of comfortability that builds over time of being with someone consistently. That's why they say, distance makes the heart grow fonder. Yeah, because you miss them, right? Well, that comfortability, I believe, is probably one reason why I decided to put a little bit more of my energy and time into something that wasn't her. It was myself and my own job.
Yeah,
right.
You're just okay.
But now looking back on it with the foresight, I realized I could have taken her out on some fucking dates. Yeah. I could have like brought her to trips to other states and other countries and gone on special things. Like that's how, at least from what I've learned from relationship coaches nowadays and a lot of experts out there, that is how you keep the relationship alive and beautiful, is by continuing the things that you did in your honeymoon phase for each other, right? Yeah. Continuing to make it exciting and taking them out to special things in order to make it feel like it's still that fresh relationship you've always had.
It's not just like, oh, you got them, so now you're good. It's like you got them, now you still have to like fight to keep
requires the effort.
Yeah.
It always will. It always will. Mm-hmm. And that's why I know now that if I don't feel like I can do that right now, dude, I'm glad to, like, I really feel no need to have to be in a relationship at the moment. Yeah. Because I know for a fact that I probably won't really have the time and energy to contribute my whole self into that right now anyways. Yeah.
You know, you have to be like aware and, honest with yourself with that stuff too. So yeah, I feel you on that.
And you're on the fucking come up, bro.
Oh, thanks, bro.
Growth is just
yeah. That's like that's the weird thing right now for me, is that like, so I don't do like dating apps or anything like that. And like it's a weird place where obviously every single one of us, there's a long way to go till we're at the top of the mountain that we want to be on. But there are times when I think about that, I'm like, I don't want to really date anyone when I'm at the top. Or I don't want to meet someone when I'm at the top. I want to meet someone that already knows me now, right? Or like, when I'm on the come up is where I like ideally want to meet someone, just because I feel like I don't even have to question that they want something from me or anything like that. But then I'm also in that weird place of just like, I don't know. I don't, not sure what else. Scratch that. But essentially, yeah, like I don't, it's a never ending like flip of like, do I really, I know I want to date, but at the same time, because I know that like what I'm willing to give, but I don't want to give it to the wrong person. And so it's just like, I think that also attributes to me having my guard up a little bit. It's just because in the past, I think like I would give, and I have to take accountability for the part that I played, which is, sometimes you are giving from a place of, what, like no one forced me in those positions, right? No one asked me to give that much. So I have to take accountability. Like I still did those things, right? And it's my fault for having an attachment to an outcome. So like moving forward, it's always been okay, like give without an attachment to outcome. And like that, again, it's that abundance mindset. Yeah, but I mean, I definitely don't have the dating experience that you did. So I would say that right now it's, I can't have my perspective on it is a little, not hazy. It's just, I'm at a crossroads right now with that, with dating, I think. Yeah. So right now my priority is just building the friendships that I have and like putting the love in. Just because you're not in a relationship doesn't mean you can't put love into other things. Like you have to have friendships that you can pour that love into. Like that's why I take the boys out on dates. You know what I mean? Like take the boys out to dinner and stuff like that. So yeah.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah.
All right. We went on a little bit of a hiatus. So
yeah.
Now I want to talk about some cologne.
Yeah, let's do it.
We got some questions from the audience.
Okay.
And I really want to hear these too. I'm gonna have some input as well.
Okay.
These are hilarious, dude. Okay, so first question, Andrew Mkabe. Mkabe? Which one do Asians baddies like the most?
Dude, definitely.
Which cologne?
Don't wear Dior Sauvage.
Don't wear Dior Sauvage.
Do not wear
Why?
Dior Sauvage. Dior Sauvage is a great cologne. It smells good. You can use it for any occasion. Performs well, projects well. But if you go into any department store, it's probably the first cologne you see. It's probably the first cologne that many people see. So it's just very, very popular, and the success of it almost killed it. So you're not going to smell unique or anything like that. And everyone knows what the smell is. Like, that is one of the most common colognes I'll actually smell.
Okay.
If I go out, it's like if someone's wearing Dior Sauvage, I'll immediately pick up on it. To Asian patty. Oh, so what do the ABGs like? That's pretty funny. Dude, I gotta
give us the ABG cologne, bro.
Oh man.
What do we need to wear to time?
Dude. I'll be honest, some of the craziest interactions I've had, and I think you do know one of them, like the whole EDC moment, just people in general, but I'll say ultra male if you're going out partying or anything like that. That ultra male,
fucking sick.
It's
ultra male.
Yeah, it's called Ultra Male by Jean Paul Gaultier, and it smells like fresh. Yeah, fresh smells like fresh minty bubble gum. And I've consistently had some like pretty wild experiences wearing that cologne. I don't know if it was it's not because of the cologne, but like that one definitely smells like a good time if you wear that. I've had some female friends say some pretty funny shit when they smell it.
Maybe you think it's not because of the cologne.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? But yeah, that cologne has consistently been some pretty good experiences.
All right, sick. So Ultra Male, right?
Ultra Male by Jean Paul Gaultier is a really good one that you can wear. Azaro, the Most Wanted, another solid one.
Okay.
Yeah.
For ABGs.
Yeah. For just women in general, I would say.
For women in general, but but the cologne, if you want to attract ABGs, Asian baby girls,
I'll say Ultra Male.
Ultra Male.
Yeah, go with Ultra Male. Can't go wrong with that one.
And then you said for women in general, the other option you were suggesting?
The Azaro, the Most Wanted is good. Is a really, really good option.
Why?
It's sweet. It has a similar vibe to Ultra Male, but I would say it's a little bit more classy. It's not as much of a party scent, but it smells a little bit more elegant. Whereas like Ultra Male smells just like sex.
Okay, interesting.
Smells like a good time.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's fucking funny, bro. Okay, so this is not the next question, but I did want to ask this question first.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look for where it was, but somebody asked, what do you think about? I think it's because I posted a picture of it on my story. But what do you think about Black Panther? Or not Black Panther, no, Black Phantom.
Black Phantom.
So Black Phantom is the Black Phantom by Killian, right?
Yeah.
Is the it's the clone that Saint bought me as a gift. Just like several months ago, and I fucking love this cologne, bro. This is my cologne now. This is literally the cologne that I've been waiting for my entire life, bro. Now every single time, I savor this thing. I'm like, I wait for a really nice night out or something, and I just fucking spray myself.
That definitely
dude.
Matches your personality.
I love it. Sure. It's hard.
Yeah, it's a good fragrance that I will say not everyone can pull that one off.
It's like sweet, but a little bit it's some like masculine.
Very masculine. Yeah,
but it's like a weird masculine sweet. Kind of reminds me of whiskey in a way, or wood. Wooden whiskey.
It smells like very, very seductive, very masculine. It's not overly sweet by a long shot, but you gotta Nyle has a little he's got the swagger and the confidence to pull that one off, but it's not something I would just massively recommend to people. I think it's one of those fragrances that you need to be able to wear it, or it will absolutely wear you. And Nyle definitely wears that bad boy. He's not. I don't have to. He's got the confidence and the personality for it for sure.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
That makes me I'm gonna cry. Shit. I want to know who asked that. Fuck. Why can't I find that? I thought I saved it here somewhere. Oh, Kostas Tsiolgas. Your opinion about Black Phantom. Yeah. Fucking love it, bro. Fucking love it. Oh, this is funny. I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't have said your name because we just talked about this. But she said you should get Sauvage by Dior.
Oh, God.
It smells so good.
Oh, no.
Hey, man, it was popular for a reason, right?
No, it's a good cologne.
It's just the most mainstream.
Yeah,
basically.
It absolutely is. It's like you're not going to stand out by any means.
Okay.
Yeah, but it smells good. It smells great.
Gotcha. And we do not spray our booty holes often. Okay, Czar asks, does applying lotion impact my colognes?
Yeah, it does actually. It can actually help it last longer and project a little bit more. The only caveat to that would be wear unscented lotion. If you wear something scented, it's going to mess with it a little bit. Make sure your lotion's unscented. Put it on right after the shower when your pores are still open. But yes, lotion does affect it. Absolutely. In a good way.
Love that.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Davidoff is for serious people only.
Davidoff Cool Water.
He didn't say cool water, but
I'm assuming that's the one. Yeah.
I do want to say the cologne that I used consistently before this guy got me Black Panther was Davidoff Cool Water.
Yeah.
I love that cologne personally. It's very it's very fresh and not strong.
Yeah.
It's not
clean.
overwhelming.
Mm-hmm. It's just clean.
But every time I've worn it, I've liked it because I liked it, but for some reason, all my female friends are always about it. They're always just like, Nyle, it's your smell. Like, you smell so good.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a couple that were like, I've smelled that before. I feel like I smelled that on an ex or something before.
It was a very common one back in the day.
Back in the day.
Yeah. It's still another one that's easy to get. It's easy access to.
Why back in the day, or when back in the day?
Pretty sure we all have parents that our parents. It was around when our parents were.
Pretty sure. Oh, it's that old.
Yeah. It's an oldie.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It's been around for a while, but girls tend to like fresher scents in general. It's not that they don't like other ones, but girls in general do like fresher scents. Yeah.
That is, unless it's my pheromones.
Yeah.
Those stink. I just played.
I wish there was a way to actually see when we're being affected by pheromones. You know what I mean?
I wish there was a way too, but I feel like I can smell the difference.
Really?
Like if I'm smelling a girl and something, I feel like I can tell when it's not a perfume or a scent of like a shampoo or anything, and it's this girl's body smell. Like I can kind of tell the difference.
The
pheromones don't always smell as nice, but there's something weirdly just noticeable about them that I kind of feel sometimes maybe a little bit attracted to. Mm-hmm. It's weird.
Yeah, I wish I knew when I was being affected by that.
Yeah, maybe you just need to do a little bit more experimenting.
No. nice.
You touch my tra-la-la. All right. Why do my colognes smell like shit when my friends try them? Especially Agua de Jao, Cornelius says.
Agua de Gio smells pretty good. I'm not sure. It could be like a bad batch or... I mean, colognes react differently with all of our skin. So, but generally, I don't know what he means by smells like shit. Because that one's a pretty hard cologne to smell bad for.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very, very easy to like fresh scent. You can also wear it for any occasion.
Bro, maybe all your friends just smell like shit.
Yeah, it could just be your friend.
At least you smell good, huh?
Yeah.
Always Katie asks, how many sprays needed for projection depending on fragrance and where to apply?
Oh, dude, that's such a... I will say, okay, on the previous note, the previous question, I will say that there are many colognes that I've had that I absolutely hated in the beginning. Dior Sauvage was one of them, actually. I hated that scent. I was like, this smells like shit. But I kept smelling it, and eventually I was like, this smells really good. There have been multiple fragrances like that where I hated the scent in the beginning, and then eventually the more I smelled it or got familiar, I was like, this actually smells really good. Or other people like compliment it, and then all of a sudden it makes me like it. Which, I don't know, could be a psychological thing, but there are instances like that where you might smell a cologne, you might think it smells bad, but then later on it's just, you love that smell. You know, it's the same way our taste buds change every so often, like it could be. But back to the question at hand.
Yeah. What was the question again? Question was, how many sprays needed for projection depending on fragrance and where to apply? Yeah,
so it depends on the fragrance for how many sprays, because some colognes you could get away with spraying it like 8-10 times and that bitch still won't project a lot. Like some fragrances are just weaker, and some fragrances are meant to be weaker. It's meant for like certain occasions, but like for example, like Versace Eros, right? Super common party fragrance. That thing, you spray it anything more than like 2 to 4 times and you're gonna give somebody a headache. It is a very, very loud fragrance. But there are other fragrances that you get away with spraying, like I said, like 8 times. Like I have some colognes that I literally will spray twice, like on each side of my neck, and I'm good. And then other ones I'm gonna spray like
you gotta spray points, a lot of times,
sides,
right?
my shoulders, my arm, because otherwise it's just not gonna project that well.
Am I right by saying this? But I felt like Cool Water was always like light, the lighter side.
Yeah, and fresher scents tend to be a little bit weaker than like the spicier or sweet ones. But yeah, like okay, so La Nuit de l'Homme by YSL was at one point like one of the best smelling fragrances. It still is to this day one of the best smelling fragrances. And at one point, it had really good performance. You could spray like 2 to 4 times and you're good. Now it's been reformulated and stuff like that. I'm not sure what they use for the ingredients in it, but it's like you'll spray that thing like 6 to 8 times and it's still gone within like a couple hours, few hours. Sucks, dude. It's one of the sexiest smells out there.
But it just disappears quick.
Just fucking disappears.
What is it called?
La Nuit de l'Homme.
Is it expensive or no?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like around $100.
Shit.
Yeah, which is like average designer brand. Like
a lot cheaper than fucking Black Phantom.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what sucks. Sometimes you're not gonna get what you pay for all the time with fragrances.
Yeah.
That's why, like, you know, on my channel I'll suggest cheaper alternatives because better bang for your buck. You know.
What did you call this one again? This last one?
Oh, YSL La Nuit de l'Homme.
Okay, so if you buy YSL Louis de l'Homme, bring this around with you then.
Yeah.
Probably bring it in your car just in case because you're going to need it again later.
Yeah, or buy the copy of it. Like there's like a lot of Middle Eastern brands that make copies of these really popular designer brands. And they smell just as great. Like they might be a little different in the opening, but they last a little bit longer sometimes.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, bet.
You don't have to always spend a lot.
Cheap. Okay. Does more money mean a better smell?
No. Keep that one real short.
Oliver Quinn. Yeah.
No. Absolutely fucking not.
Yeah, I feel like same with like any shoes or anything. Like it's simply branding.
Yeah,
simply
like
branding.
Dude, like all these designers stuff, like you can get that stuff like same exact material elsewhere for a way cheaper. It's just the brand you're paying for. More isn't always better, unfortunately.
For example, my jewelry. A lot of you guys were asking me about my jewelry. I noticed in my most recent Q&A I'm about to do. Y'all, all my jewelry is like thrifted or from some cheap ass Asian store online or even found on Amazon, bro. Like I don't need to buy nice jewelry. Like I'm not trying to like, you know, I'm not trying to like make a money statement.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make a fashion statement.
I personally don't really like super
style statement, huh?
Yeah, I personally don't really like super out there jewelry. I like the clean and minimalistic look for me personally. Yeah.
I do want a nice sports car though someday.
Same.
An upgrade for the Audi.
Yeah, I feel you on
That'd be sick.
that. You absolutely will though. Knowing you'll get that sports car soon.
Bro, after fucking Larry told me how much he got his car for and how he figured that out.
Yeah.
Blew my fucking mind, bro. I spent the same amount of mine.
Yeah. Dude.
I was like, bro, damn. Every single time I fucking come to my house, I just stare at his car.
Yeah.
I literally just stare at his car.
You're like, fuck.
Damn, sexy I8. Cheap but good quality cologne, asked by Max Bauer.
Nautica Voyage. Okay, I literally have a link in my bio that's like, you just go to Amazon and it's like there's literally an affordable list I've like put together on my Amazon list, and
hell yeah,
again, so paying more doesn't always mean better. There's plenty of like Club de Nuit Intense, man, is one of the best Creed Aventus copies. And Creed Aventus is $400. It couldn't be up to $400.
Whoa.
Club de Nuit Intense is like $40, $30, depending on when you buy it.
Dude.
Yeah, and it lasts longer and it performs better. Spice and Black Vanilla from Cremo is on there. Halloween Man X. Go to that list, you'll find something. Like,
wow.
Yeah, I don't think on that list particularly, I don't think I put anything over $50. And they all like are pretty solid. Yeah.
What your 3 favorites from there?
There,
would you be
Club de Nuit Intense, man, for sure. Like I wear that thing regularly, and I don't have to feel bad about it because it's cheap. Halloween Man X, another solid one, and I'm gonna say Rasasi Hawass for him is another good one. Yeah, it's a very fresh, like almost like you're out of the barber, like aftershave scent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. How many fuck. Kel Griff asks, what cologne supports hypertrophy the most?
Oh man, that's kind of hard. I feel like Nyle might know a little bit better than I do.
I don't know if you guys saw my podcast with Marcus Fit, but we heard the Tren smell does pretty well for females. Well, for most females.
Isn't it like, it's like almost like Ambroxan or something like that?
Ambroxan?
Yeah, it smells like Ambroxan or something.
I have no clue, bro.
I mean, I don't either.
He was just saying it's a musky smell and that it was weird. Like guys would say they didn't like it, but girls would say they liked it. No, which is hilarious, bro. That's so funny.
Yeah, it's crazy how that works.
That's
I've
so
heard
funny.
that multiple times. Like
Tren smell.
Yeah, like guys hate musk, but a girl smells it and they're like, could be the whole pheromone thing.
Yeah, I've
definitely
probably
heard
just
that.
related to the pheromone thing. Huh?
Yeah.
Interesting. I feel bad. Like we're just talking about this science, but like I don't know. I feel like I hope this doesn't like encourage people to start taking Tren.
No, I would say that
shit.
That comes at a cost for sure.
we don't know if this is really legit. This is purely speculation. Okay. How many Zephyr Vision asks, have you found some natural scent within reason that increases attractiveness? Interesting.
I'm not going to give any brand names out because I haven't tested any of them yet.
If you guys want to please support the podcast, literally, the best way is to use my code Nyle for Young LA clothing or huge supplements. If you want a non-monetary way to support the podcast, please go on YouTube and subscribe, as well as go to Spotify and Apple Podcasts and rate a 5 stars. It will mean the absolute world and truly, truly help me with my growth of my biggest passion right now, which is essentially the podcast and then YouTube. So, and then the best way to really support me, if you can afford it, and maybe even if you want to buy yourself some clothes or buy yourself some supplements that I personally use, is Young LA, and then my code is code Nyle for that, and then huge supplements, and my code is code Nyle for that as well, and both will also offer you a discount. And doing this, all the funds from these things go towards making my videos better and go towards my editors as well, because obviously I don't have enough time in the week to edit both an entire podcast and an entire YouTube video, which is why, the funds have to go towards another editing team. So I really appreciate you guys again, and as you keep supporting me, the content is only going to be able to grow. So thank you guys so much. And then finally, if you guys are feeling symptoms of low T or want to get yourself checked out and also are interested in men's health optimization RX medicines such as healing peptides, BPC 157 and TB 500, which I've been using to heal my shoulder impingement, and which is why I am now feeling pretty healed up after 3 to 4 weeks, then you can go check out my link at the bottom, which is with Transcend HRT, my bodybuilding friendly HRT clinic. And they also offer things such as TRT, peptides, PCTs, and clomiphene and ACG in order for you to boost your testosterone without having to get on TRT, and a bunch of other things such as things for libido, erectile dysfunction, and also things to prevent hair loss.
I just feel like I didn't bring enough value to...
Oh, bro, you brought more than enough value.
I feel like, because like when we were talking about the girls thing, I was like, I was all over the place.
Don't worry about it, dude.
Yeah. And I think it's because I'm in the middle of like certain shit right now. So I'm like, one part of it's like, I got to watch what I say, but the other part's like, I'm still processing stuff right now.
No, yeah, you are in the middle of a lot of stuff right now,
so
but that's okay.
I was definitely, I feel like I could not have, I explained it very poorly. There was just a better way I could have articulated everything. So I feel like I wasn't able to really fully bring the experiences that I could have. Yeah, but
we're just gonna say this, but poor Saint has been going through a lot recently. So we're gonna bring him back on the pod again so we can talk more about our relationship situations as it improves the next few.
It's funny because like, I'm not even dating.
Catch up about it.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, have you found some natural scent within reason that increases effectiveness by supervision?
Oh, right. So what I was saying earlier was I'm not going to say any brands because I haven't done my extensive research on this and I don't want to false advertise anything. But I will say there are pheromone fragrances out there. I know someone that actually has a line of them, and I'm going to reach out to her and try them. Kind of hard to test the success of that though, but yes, there are actually quite literally fragrances that are like pheromone fragrances out there, but I'm not going to promote any because I haven't tried any.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty. I'm very curious about that.
Yeah,
I want to try it.
Natural scent trend.
Yeah,
JK. No, seriously, don't do it.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do it.
It's also like when you know NoFap, how like there comes a certain point where you if you haven't came in a while, like you literally excrete pheromones.
More?
Yeah.
Is that scientifically sound?
Oh man, now that you asked, I don't want to like put that out there.
Oh.
I don't want to like quote unquote like don't quote.
Yeah, but it's just something that we've heard.
It's something I've heard very commonly, like on content and like on a document, not like reading through it and stuff.
Someone research that and then put it in the comments. Let me know.
Yeah, but I will say there was a time where like I'm not really gonna get into it, but yeah, I do notice that like maybe I don't know if it's the confidence thing, but there are times when like I will go a very long time without that, and then things happen.
That's dope.
Yeah, but at that point, like you've
that's
already
lit.
rewired your dopamine system that you don't necessarily like crave that. But yeah, all that's
I'm a big fan of trying. I'm a big fan of trying NoFap, not necessarily always succeeding in it, but I'm a big fan of doing my best to try NoFap.
Yeah, dude, yeah, it's crazy because there's NoFap and then there's semen retention, which is like even if you have sex, you don't let yourself nut.
Yeah, I'm not. No, I'm not.
That's the one I'm on right now. It can be difficult, man. For sure.
What in the world, dude?
Oh, dude, we'll talk about it later.
Andrew Huberman even talked about how like that, like you get the dopamine rush from the semen excretion with the partner. That's how the dopamine rush happens. So you technically don't have that. Oh wait, no, or is it the? Oh no,
there's a testosterone.
It's a testosterone produced.
Yeah, but
it's testosterone increased.
It's like he's talking about like 400% though. Like you get a testosterone increase from watching sexual activity, and then there's more from actually
coming during sex,
and then the testosterone increase from not. It's also so wild that we just saw the dude like last week.
They said there isn't.
There is a testosterone increase from not ejaculating as well.
What I was listening to was that they said that there was no testosterone increase from having sex but not ejaculating.
That's crazy. I could have sworn I just like heard him say.
Yeah, someone else can
We'll have to
research
look
that
that up.
and look that up and then put it in the comments too.
Yeah.
But that's why I actually remembered that. Well, I tried to like make note of that, like finding that it was interesting that like, wow, so technically if I wanted to actually increase my testosterone, then I want to make sure that I actually ejaculate during the sex.
Dude, have I
That's
just
what I
been
remembered.
fucking torturing myself for no fucking reason? Fuck. God damn
Just
it.
let's just double check the info
Yeah,
later, you know
dude.
what I mean?
Oh
We
my
don't know.
God.
Ostino asks best overall brand. Cologne.
Oh,
Ostino, best overall cologne brand.
that's a hard one. I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna say Michael Malone for right now, because they're not a they're not a designer brand. They're also not necessarily. I mean, they're you could technically classify them as a niche brand, but they don't have the niche brand pricing. And every single cologne I've gotten from them is consistently just, it performs well, it smells amazing, but it doesn't smell like every other fragrance out there. So I think it's just a good in general middle ground. If you want to smell different and you don't want to have the normal designer brand fragrances you see at every store, I would say that one's like, I'm not going to say the best, I'm going to say it's up there. Because best is purely subjective.
Right.
Yeah, like you can hate a cologne.
Oh, based
Someone else
on
will
your,
absolutely,
your scent and how you like it.
It's purely, colognes are purely subjective as far as like best goes.
What was the brand?
Michael Malone.
Michael Malone?
Michael Malone.
Okay, is the best overall brand. Gotcha.
But yeah.
That will your preferred overall brand.
My preferred overall brand. If you,
Okay.
I have a code if you want it.
No shit.
Yeah. Like they're one of the
Fuck
codes
it,
that I
yeah.
accidentally.
You have the code for the people.
I believe
The
it's
discount code.
It's in my bio. I believe it's here, let me look at it right now. But it is a brand that I stumbled upon, and since then I have consistently, like, just every single fragrance from them is so good. My code is Saint 20 with Michael Malone. It's in my bio. But yeah,
Nice. Does that 20% off?
yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a big one.
Yeah, they're the ones I'm actually going to talk to you about. I'm going to talk to them about launching my own line, just because of the quality of the fragrances that they've gotten and they've sent. It's like, okay, I can trust this brand. I want to do something with them. Yeah.
Sebastian Mendoza asks, how many colognes should a man have on a daily basis?
Okay, I'm gonna say that's a really good question. So I think if you're really gonna get into fragrances, then if you only want one cologne for every single occasion, you're gonna kind of have to do your research and find a cologne that you can wear in the heat, in the cold, formal occasion, not like non-formal occasion, dates, etc. But if you are getting into fragrances and you want to have more than one, I would say have one for hot weather, have one for cold weather, have one for dates. And the one that you have for hot weather, you can generally wear those, in the office or in school, like in everyday errands and stuff like that. So generally, like three is a pretty solid number, like wear one for if it's hot out, if you're going out at night or cold, like you get one for that. And then if you have one for special occasions like dates, it's also a good one.
Interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
I would technically only have 2 colognes, but for some reason I have a bunch of leftover colognes from my grandfather after he passed away, and I don't want to let them go.
Laughed way too
that.
soon. My bad.
Fuck you, bro.
I giggled and then you finished it. I was like, oh my.
No, but I love them because I'll just spray I'll just enjoy like smelling like way.
Yeah.
My grandfather fucking loved that guy.
Yeah.
He was the most loving human being when I was a kid.
I believe it. Knowing you, I believe it.
Stop.
Yeah.
Funny question by Michael Corhonen. This is funny because we were just talking about this. Is JPG Ultra Male the definition of the panty dropper?
Yes. Yeah, dude, it
That's
is.
hilarious.
Honestly, man, it is.
That's your favorite one, right?
It's one of my, dude, by far one of my favorites. Like, I know I'm going to have a good time just in general. Because, like, also just, like, some fragrances make you just feel good. Like, I just know it smells really fucking good. And Ultra Male is one of them. They did discontinue it, though. So grab one before it's too late. Eventually, they will be out forever. But, I mean, they discontinued it a while ago. And I still find that bitch somewhere. Like
Nice.
In stores.
Dude, honestly, just because of that, I think I'm going to make that the title. the most panty dropping cologne? What is the best cologne?
I got you.
That's funny. Benji, how can I smell like you? I need to level up. Fucking Benji, I love the guy.
Oh man.
Hey, Bratsky. Oh, what the? This is a funny one. Which one is best to get the hose? Because right now my girl is playing security and dumb.
Wait, hold on. Say that last part again.
Maybe we shouldn't. My girl is playing security and dumb.
Oh man, I'm not gonna encourage exploring outside your girlfriend, so I'm not gonna answer that one.
Maybe we'll keep that one for another time.
Yeah.
Cool.
Stay faithful.
And do you have a personal top 3 cologne that you use when going out?
Yes, I do. So actually recently, literally this weekend, I just got Azzaro the Most Wanted. Like compliments immediately.
Nice.
From both guys and girls. So that one, Ultra Male from Jean Paul Gaultier was another one. And then my number one right now, and which is funny because it's still in the fucking box because I need to do an unboxing video of it. But it was the first fragrance where I actually killed the entire sample and was like, I need to get this.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So it's called Xershov Golden Cream. I'm going to tell everyone not to buy that one though. One, because that's mine. Mm-hmm. But two, it is a niche brand, right? And so with niche fragrances, these fragrances, as all fragrances do, but even more so with niche brands, they're going to react differently. Same way like Black Phantom, you love that. But when I put it on me, I was like, you know, Xershov Golden Green is a niche brand that will probably react differently to me than it will to someone else. And I might really like it, but I did not like it the first 2 times. And so I can't that's why I never push niche brands super hard, because it can be different for everyone and it's not something you want to blind buy, especially when you're putting that much money into these fragrances. So my number one for me personally is Xershov Golden Green, but I'm not going to tell anybody here to just buy that on your own. Sample that thing first, actually wear it, see how it is on you, then you can buy it. But for my number one is Xershov Golden Green.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I know some people will hate that one.
So the question was what was it? Oh, your top. What are your top 3 colognes to use when you're going out? So your number one is Xershov Golden Green.
Xershov Golden Green. That's my signature right now.
Okay.
But I haven't worn it in a while, ironically enough.
Do you have 2 others that you like?
Yeah, it was Ultra Male for going out. Ultra Male, and then Azzaro Most Wanted.
Nice.
Yeah, Eau de Parfum.
Bet.
Yeah.
Writing these all down in the notes.
Yeah, dude, don't take all of them, man.
I'm not gonna
Dude,
take them, bro. I'm literally just gonna keep doing Black Panther. The fact that you bought me that expensive ass fucking amazing cologne in the first place, bro.
Dude, seeing your reaction.
I can't wait to just
you lit up
the last drop.
Yeah, that was nice to see, because I was just like I said at the time, I was just trying to repay.
Bro, nice to see. Fucking nice to get that fucking kind ass gift from you, man.
I was just trying to repay the kindness, because you always hook it up, and it's damn, yeah, you, Larry, and you guys are always hooking up the group with your Young LA stuff, and it's damn, I don't have stuff like that that I can give, so it's you know what,
you give more than enough, bro.
I appreciate that, man.
In every way, way you do your friendship and everything.
Appreciate that, brother.
Anyways, I wanted to say thanks for being on this podcast, bro.
Dude,
I love you.
I
want to keep going. I feel like we could go on for hours.
We definitely can. We definitely could.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to cut it short now.
Yeah.
But where can everybody find you?
At Saint Yim on TikTok. I don't have any YouTube videos yet, but I will be starting. Just got the camera.
You better.
Yeah, I know. You guys have been on my ass about that. But just Saint Yim, SaintYim on Instagram and TikTok. Make, hopefully good content. Just try to bring you guys value and help you all succeed in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Thanks for watching, fam. So thanks again, guys. I love you guys so much. Transparent with Nyle Naga, Saint Yim.
Thanks for having me.
I'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Oh, wait. Shit.
What?
No, I have to ask you these 2 last questions really, 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 really quickly.
Hit me.
I ask everyone.
Okay.
What would be the first thing you would do right now if you were to die tomorrow?
I think I would take every single person in my inner circle, just we're just gonna go on a trip. Since I'm not gonna need any type of money or anything, I'll find a way to we're all gonna go somewhere, and then make one last memory. Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking cry, bro.
Yeah, I'm very much
fucking boy.
Yeah,
I'm very
I don't think like I know I'm gonna succeed. I know I'm gonna make it. But I don't care about being at the castle alone. No. I want everyone around me.
Fucking hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I hope I'm on that list, bro, because I'll fucking go anywhere with you.
Obviously, you're on the fucking list, dude. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, I wouldn't say that to you if you weren't. But yeah, that's why I want money. It's just I just want to be able to give it like to everyone around me, just give everyone experiences. So if I'm dying tomorrow, we're all gonna go do something. One last memory. I'll definitely guys, girls, like we'll go do it. Wholesome and also DJ and shit.
And if you could have one superpower in the world, what would it be? Any superpower, and why?
At one point, I would have said immortality, but I thought about it and I was like, nah, I do not want to live forever. I would say I wish I could teleport, conditional that I could also teleport things around me. Yeah.
Why?
I think of all the places that you could go. You know what I mean? Like you've been to my house. Like, the view's sick, right? Like, now imagine being able to go somewhere that no one else has access to, and then being able to take people there. That's an experience that you can give people and yourself that no money in the world could. Well, maybe enough money could, but no money in the world could buy, that an experience like that. And that just gives you access to literally anywhere in the world, right? Like, you don't need to fly there. You don't need a car. You don't need to travel. Well, by definition, you are traveling, but like, it ties back to if I was going to die tomorrow, I could take all, then I don't have to pay for it. I'm just going to grab all you guys in one place and then I'm going to teleport us there and then we're going to go do shit. Teleport us to the next day. Like, that's teleportation, I think, also by collateral gives you time. Yeah, and that time is everything. Being able to do things with your time, like you never know when that time's going to run out. So in a way, buying time with teleportation just gives you so much opportunity to do.
We have the same power.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for being on this podcast, bro.
Of course,
fucking love you, man.
Fucking love you too, bro.
Let's go teleport somewhere and fucking have the best night of our lives.
Yeet.
All right. Peace.